Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Fulham, and my goodness, we've had a month. Oh my god, we've had a month, and yeah, I think you can already see it, and yes, that will be the highlighted game in this episode. Don't worry about that. Now, we started things off against Celtic at home at Craven Cottage, and my hope was that we could put a few goals past them. I figured that at home we'd have the advantage on that, and my god did we. And frankly, that scoreline does them flatters them a little bit. We scored. They words. Kostas Mitroglou scored a hat trick in this game. There is a third goal in there. Yeah, 59 minutes it was. So basically, we put ourselves in front through Mitroglou early on, which is great. But then they actually got an equaliser through Teemu Pukki, who is a Finnish international, I believe. Which was quickly, well, not that quickly, but just before half-time, Mitroglou made it 2-1, and I thought, right, let's kick on from that. And that is exactly what we did. As Kacha Nikolic, straight after half-time, made it 3-1, and I thought, right, that's the insurmountable lead of 2 goals that we've never dropped yet. On the hour mark, it was made 4-1 by Mitroglou when he completed his hat-trick, proving that he is a bastard of a goal-getter in Europe, which is great. And then an Adam Matthews own goal made it 5-1 to us with 20 minutes left. Sadly, they were able to get 2 goals back in the last couple of minutes, which took the shine off the result a little bit. 5-1 looks a lot better than 5-3. And the injury to Jesper Julsgaard sure as hell did not help us in any way in that game. Next, we went back and we were knackered from that game because for some reason, despite having a Wednesday fixture, we had to play on Saturday lunchtime against Villa. Usually those are moved to Sunday. I don't know why, but we were absolutely knackered against Villa. And they were better than us, I think, for most of this game. Well, actually, we were both just awful. We took the lead through Kieran Trippier with a great goal, but Aaron Lea Iseka, I've never heard of this guy, but he scored a great goal against us. Who is he? He's Belgian, of course he's Belgian. He's wearing an Anderlecht shirt, so I'm guessing they must have signed him from Anderlecht. Nope. He's not even... He's not even a Villa player. He's on loan from Man United, who bought him off of Anderlecht. And he's also been on loan at Genk. He's a good player. He looked very good. And frankly, he tore us apart at times. They didn't get a lot of shots on target, though. That was their problem. But we were pretty poor as well. And a 0-0, a 1-1 is about as good as that game got, really. It's certainly not a classic by any stretch. Then, though, we went up to the Stadium of Light. And, we basked in the glory of the Stadium of Light. The problem was it was our glory, not theirs. Now, it took us a little while to get going in this one, although we did have a massive amount of shots before they even got going. We seem to be playing, again, like Liverpool did last season in real life, where they were just blitz teams early on, and that's exactly what we tried to do here. It didn't actually work, though. Odegaard's early goal was very quickly cancelled out by Emmanuel Jacquerini. Thankfully, right on the stroke of half-time, Kostas Fortounis popped up and was able to make it 2-1. Now, in the start of the second half, well, Dan Burn scored a goal, and you know... those moments, I've not actually had this before, weirdly, playing Football Manager, where you see a player score a goal and you think, wow, I remember when he was a youth player here and now he's my captain and he's just scored a brilliant, brilliant volley. And then you think, Christ, he could be a club legend. And then it's one of those things where you're creating your own mythology for the football team in the future. And I think that is the exact thing that makes Football Manager one of the best games in the world, because of that one specific thing. Once you hit that point and you realise you're creating history in your mind, and in some weird way that makes you feel excellent. And that was when I noticed it, was when Dan Burn scored that goal, because the way he obviously is playing for Fulham in real life, he's doing a good job at the back. I mean, he's 6'7", he should be able to head just about anything away. But it's just great to see that, you know, that's potentially what he could progress towards in real life, and it'd be interesting to actually track Dan Burn's career to see if his career path does actually map out like that. So anyway, enough about that. But yeah, what is the thing to you? I want to question, and I want to see some responses to this one. What is the one thing about Football Manager to you that makes it so special? That answers on a postcard. Anyway, straight back into the game, Paco Alcácer comes in and scores us yet another goal. He's had a great month again. He's still, you know, I put him in against Chelsea because he deserved the position, and unfortunately we weren't good enough on the day, and I had to bring Mitroglou on, but he didn't do any better anyway. But Paco Alcácer is having a great time. Kostas Fortounis then, not long after that, made it 5-1, and I thought we could actually get a couple more, and we had a few chances, frankly. We could have had more goals against them. I was thinking a repeat of that West Brom 7-1, but this is away from home as well, so that's great. That showed that we can win away from home, and now we come to the highlighted game. And, well, I'm just going to jump straight into the highlights because you don't need to see me batter. Batter? You don't need to see me batter. You don't need to see me blabber on about this. Let's just get and let the goals do the talking. Now, Barca got off to an absolutely superb start in this one when Clément Grenier, with probably one of the most French names ever, managed to put them in front. I don't know who Clément Grenier is, so I'm kind of curious to find that out after this. But somehow, just... oh, what a strike. The moment that I was literally ready to jump around the room when De Vilhena scored that goal, because frankly, we'd not really been involved in the game much at this point. They were taking us to the cleaners, and I thought the second goal was only a matter of time before they got it. Unfortunately, no sooner had we got that, pretty much straight from the kickoff in the second half, I think it was, they were able to put themselves straight back in front, and we were certainly offering more in the game, and I genuinely thought that we could, we were keeping hold of the ball quite well at times. Considering this is Barcelona away, our possession statistic of 47 is amazing, but once we lost the ball here, and Neymar gets the ball on that wing position, eventually, he somehow gets there first. He shouldn't have, but I think it's because it was a centre-back that was forced to go and try and deal with the issue here, and not Kieran Trippier, who has left Polax on the floor. Neymar just runs in, and bang, very Neymar. But we were not done yet. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we were not done yet. This brilliant moment where a fantastic save for Ter Stegen, followed up by another fantastic save from Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, Fortuna eventually managed to find the net. Most of our stats came from that one move where we had 3 shots on target. But the fact is, one clear-cut chance each, we maybe did deserve something from that game, and we bloody well got it. Now, let's have a look at this lad. I want to just see, Clément Grenier, is he actually a player... oh, he's 25 years old. Is he a Barcelona player now, or have they bought him in? Ah, he plays for Lyon. Right. So I don't know a great deal about French football, so I had not heard of Clément Grenier. Please forgive my ignorance. So that was a point at Barcelona, and what more could you ask for? Which actually gave us a real chance now, maybe even topping the group, basically, which is huge. Tottenham in the league. And we managed to win this game despite going down to 10 men. Franco Zuccolini was a bit of a naughty boy. He's not the Messiah, but he is a very naughty boy, and he got himself sent off for 2 yellow cards. He got himself a second yellow card. Wink. Fortunas opened the scoring for us, Paco Alcácer and Effie Ambrose, and we were flying before half-time. Christian Eriksen's goal, cross that our goalkeeper decided to just leave and let it go straight over his head. That's something I wish would stop happening as well, but it does, and Zuccolini's red card in injury time didn't affect the game too much, but it does mean that he's going to be suspended. And Ryan Tunnicliffe's booking also mean that he is going to miss a game, so we're actually going to be without our first choice-ish midfield pairing for that one, which means it's probably going to be Bertolli and Mariga, who's finally fit again. You might wonder why he's not been playing. Well, the fact is, he came back, played an under-21 game, and buggered his hamstring or something, and was out for another 4 weeks. Then he came back again, and then in the training, in the week before the game he was supposed to come back in, he sprained his wrists lifting weights. He is turning into Adel Chihi, literally. He is turning into him. And that's not good. Admittedly, it's not every game, but he's not even getting to play the games because he's getting injured before he can even get back on the pitch. Final game of the... Actually, let's look at the Premier League at the moment before we go and look at the Champions League. We're now 4th, despite a decent month, frankly. But we're only 3 points off the top of the league. There's a little bit of a gap now back to Arsenal and then Spurs beneath that. So there's a little bit of a cushion because we are only expected to get into the top 4, but frankly, I want to challenge for the title this year. I'm desperate to try and challenge for it. We've only lost 1 of our first 13 league games. That's nothing to be sniffed at. And City are the top club by a mile. If you look at the amount of goals they've been scoring, it's phenomenal. But we've actually only scored 2 less than them. It's just the 8 goals more conceded. Now, I apologise if I sound like I've got tissue up my nose. That's because I may as well have. I've got a bit of a cold coming on. I don't even know how that's possible, but I do. So, apologies if I sound like... I don't know what I sound like, but it probably isn't good. Anyway, looking at the stats now, Trindade de Vilhena now has 7 assists, which makes him one of the top league assisters. Paco Alcácer is still the 3rd best player on average rating in the league and now has 7 league goals. Now, before I show you the overall stats, we're going to go back and have a little look at the Shakhtar game. So basically what happened in this game, or what permutations meant, is that we were playing Shakhtar at home and Celtic were playing against Barcelona. Now, because of the result in the last game, it meant that we were a point clear of Barca, and we had, at this point, before this even happened, qualified for the next round. But if we wanted to win the group, we just had to equal or better Barcelona's result. So if they beat Celtic, we had to beat Shakhtar. If they drew, we could draw. But I was hoping that the win would just be perfect and then we wouldn't have to worry about anything else. Now, that was taken out of our hands very, very quickly when Douglas Costa put Shakhtar ahead with a great free kick. It was a genuinely brilliant free kick. Thankfully, it didn't take us more than 3 minutes, and Tony Trindade de Vilhena was able to score another great goal, and he's really coming along leaps and bounds and put us level. Now, at this point, Celtic scored against Barcelona and took the lead, and that gave me all kinds of happiness. Then, Martin Odegaard made it 2-1 to us, and I was much, much happier. And then it was quickly followed up by Paco Alcácer. Now, I should point out that the reason that Mitroglou is not playing is because he picked up an injury, which meant that he missed the last 2 weeks. So he did actually end up missing a couple of games, which meant even more game time for Alcácer. And frankly, he probably would have got it even if Mitroglou was fit, to be honest. Then, Casasola was able to step up, and I think that might be his first goal for us. I don't know if it is or not. Please let me know if I've got that wrong. But I think that's the first goal he's ever scored for us, and it's great to see because he is really holding down a starting position amazingly. Odegaard was injured, though. We don't know the full extent of that injury because I'm literally recording this the day of the game, I think. Yeah. Later on that same evening. So we don't know the full extent of Odegaard's injury yet, so we'll have to wait and see in the next episode to see how bad that is. Hopefully it's not too serious. Now, Barcelona actually lost 2-0 against Celtic. Don't know how they did that, but they managed it. And as a result of that, we actually won our group. We won a Champions League qualifying group. Champions League group stage group with Barcelona in it. Unbeaten as well. Mental. It's just one of those things, I guess. Right, now, I'm just going to have a look. We don't have any idea who we're going to be playing yet. We only have the pot of teams. So Lyon as runner-up, we could play them. Juventus, tough ones. I'd take Lyon, perhaps. We could have a go at them. Schalke, they look quite strong. I mean, look what they've done in the group with Chelsea. Galatasaray, I'd take a go at Galatasaray. Look, they've actually qualified for the next round with 6 points. So, hey, not bad. Mainz, I'd definitely have a go at Mainz. We could take them on, I think. Roma, probably a bit difficult. And Anderlecht. If we got Anderlecht, Mainz, or Galatasaray, I'd be really, really happy. Because then I'd feel that we've got a real good chance of getting through to the quarterfinals. At that point, I think we kind of meet our ceiling of talent. But it's still a lot more, and the board are already absolutely delighted because we've got out of the group and we weren't even expected to qualify at all, and we've won the damn group, so brilliant of that. Now, one of the other things I wanted to look at and talk to you about was before I actually take you into the player stats, was to talk about the awards, because there have been some awards. Obviously there's Team of the Weeks, but what we're looking at here is Manager of the Month awards. Have I won any or not? I'm trying to think. That's Manager of the Year. What am I talking about? Manager of the Month. Did I win any? Yeah, I won Manager of the Month in the first month of in October. Yeah, I won it in October. I won Manager of the... That's Player of the Month. What am I bloody talking about? Yeah, Paco Alcácer actually won Player of the Month for his performances in those 2 games, basically. He made some other appearances, but it was those 5 goals he scored, which made him win Player of the Month, which is fantastic to see. Manager of the Month. Have I won them? Yes, I actually won it in August for winning those 3 games, but I think we already spoke about that. Young Player of the Month, though. You're going to like this. Every single month so far this season, in August, September and October, a Fulham player has won Young Player of the Month. Trindade de Vilhena actually won it twice in a row, and now Thiago Casasola won it for October. I'm hoping, I don't think we will though, that a Fulham player could maybe even win it in November, but I don't think we will. I think there's probably some other young players that have certainly excelled, and it's just great to see that kind of recognition, frankly. Right, let's go and look at the stats to see what's warranted that kind of recognition, and we're going to remember to turn off that lovely little thing right there before we get into it. Right, Stekelenburg and, well, Trindade de Vilhena, he doesn't seem very injury prone, that's for sure. He could probably do with a rest, but he just seems to be unstoppable. Top goal scorer for us, Alcácer and Fortunis now, with 8 each. But Alcácer's got 8 in 10 starts, which is phenomenal. Though Mitroglou has 7 in 10 starts, so they've actually done alright between them. A decent goal record. Odegaard and Vilhena have 5 each, and Kacaniklic has 4. Top assister? Well, that's Vilhena with 8 now, and Yulsgaard suddenly flown onto the scene with 6. Fortunis is really not holding down that weight. Yulsgaard is actually managing to get all these assists without even taking those set pieces from corners now. So I think Fortuna does need to step up, or I may be forced to reverse it back to how it was. But Trindade is creating a massive amount of goals from the middle, and I think that's one of the keys to our season this year. We're creating more goals from that central role rather than just crosses. Some of those balls through are amazing. He's doing some great work, and I think that's probably why our strikers are getting more goals now, because of the service they're getting from just behind them. Most player of the matches, Mitroglou, with 3. I think he obviously won player of the match against Celtic when he scored that hat-trick, so that's not surprising. Pass rating, well, Stekelenburg, of course. Zuccolini with 84. Ambrose, not bad. Bertoli's done alright in the games he's played. Tunnicliffe still 80. Tunnicliffe's passing is a little low. That's why his pass rating is a little off the pace, but he has still done very, very well. We do, of course, have our first red card in quite some time when Zuccolini saw red. He's also got the most yellows, so I guess that kind of makes sense. Average rating, Paco Alcácer. McDonald Mariga actually has a decent rating for the one game he has played for us, so well done to him for that. Yulsgaard is right up there as well now with Casasola. Tunnicliffe's slipping away a little bit, but the fact is his rating actually has got better. It's just everyone else has got better. Casasola's been superb this season, and Yulsgaard's really flown into things now, so it's great to see those two getting on form. And yeah, Casasola is coming along amazingly. He's already 3.5 stars now, and has a lot more potential. He's getting a lot better. 16 heading now, 16 decisions, 17 anticipation, and look at these physicals. He's got 17 acceleration for a centre-back. That's fantastic, and 18 strength. Balance and jumping reach is fantastic. He's still only 21. He's got 25 caps for the under 20s in Argentina. Come on, mate. When is he's got to get an international call-up soon. A full-on international call-up. I don't know, how many goals has he actually ever scored for Fulham? Well, apparently none, but I don't believe that one little bit. Let's just see. For Boca? Oh, he played for Huracan. That's cool. That's very cool. So the reason that I find that interesting is because Club Atlético Huracan are obviously an Argentinian club, but there's a great story I heard about a Fulham fan, ironically, that went out to South America on a sort of, not, just to see South America, and he went to basically, and he liked Huracan. So when he came back, he started a Sunday League team who are called Huracan FC London or something along those lines, and they play obviously in replica Huracan kits, and Huracan are not one of the most supported clubs in Argentina at all by any stretch of the imagination. They're no Boca, River, or there are other clubs in Argentina. I can only think of Boca and River off the top of my head. But as a result of this, they gained a lot of support from fans of the original club Huracan, and were actually invited out and paraded on the pitch, this pitch here, in front of 48,000 people or whatever. And yeah, they've got... It's a mental story. If you go look that up if you want to know more about that, because it is an amazing story. And I didn't know that Casasola has actually played for Huracan, or not played, but joined them. And I can't believe that Fulham were able to sign a young defender off of Boca Juniors. But hey, good for them, I say. But yes, that goal was his first goal ever. In fact, it was his first goal in any competition at all, but more importantly, his first goal for Fulham. And that is about that. Now, in the next month, which is December, which is obviously going to be a massively busy one, we've got City and Palace and QPR and Hull and Southampton and Wigan. That is a tough batch. And it is all Premier League, though. And we've also been drawn against Middlesbrough in the FA Cup at home. So that's good. We can probably rest a couple of players for that game, thank God. Because we've almost certainly got Champions League sometime in that month. I don't know when it picks up again, so we'll have to wait and see. So next month we've got Man City away. I can't see us winning that one. No chance. Probably not even a draw. I'm thinking defeat there. But Palace, QPR, win-win. Hull, Southampton, Wigan. Genuinely, I think we could win all 5 of those. Palace, QPR, Hull, Southampton, Wigan. Those are all winnable games. So, instead of saying 15 points, though, I'll be fair and say if we get a draw in one, maybe away at Hull or Southampton, that's fine. So I'm saying 13 points, but 15 would be preferable. We'll have to wait and see until the next episode to find out what happens. So, if you've been enjoying this series, please hit that big old like button or subscribe for more stuff like this, especially when Football Manager 15 comes around, which will be very, very soon. And I'll be announcing the 2 series that I will be launching with Football Manager pretty much on release day. But I'll be announcing it slightly before that. I don't know quite exactly. When I find out exactly when I'm getting the game, that is when I will release the names of the two teams. One of them is going to be a rebuilding series, that is all I will say, and the other one is a completely new concept, I guess you could say. But there is one that's going to be a proper big rebuilding job, and it may take quite a while, but I look forward to doing it, and I hope you will too. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.